for those who don't know me by now, I am Ross Gillett, one of Tom's nephews on his late wife's Diane's side. Hello everyone. Pleased to thank you for all coming today and for allowing me to share some fond memories that me and my family have had of Uncle Tom, otherwise known as Tom affectionately. Tom was an extraordinary individual by all accounts. While we all naturally grieve his loss, we also celebrate his life, his achievements, his unique qualities, and the happiness he brought to those whose lives he touched. Tom William Osborne was born on the 29th of January 1944 in Crown Street Women's Hospital in Sydney to Norma and Sarah Osborne, and the elder brother to Mary DeQuale, who is with us here today. Tom really didn't speak much about his childhood to me, so forgive me if I fast forward to his late teens on this one. So Tom met his beloved Diane at a very young age. Tom was the reserve country boy from Dubbo, only 17 years old, and Diane was only 15. Things did quickly take off from there, and they got married 4 years later, on the 9th of November 1965 in St Albans Church in Belmore, New South Wales. Theirs was a happy marriage of 43 years strong, until Diane passed away in 2008. Many of you would have gone to her funeral then as well. Tom then was lucky enough to meet Margaret Wyatt in 2009, with whom he lived in a loving relationship for 13 years until, in their beautiful Kingscliff home in northern New South Wales, until sadly Margaret passed away in 2022. Margaret was a very lovely lady actually. Tom then enjoyed another relationship with Sandra Loomis until more recently. Tom and Diane lived for many years on the beautiful Northern Peninsula in Newport, where I remember as a young boy that they would put out food every afternoon for the hundreds of rainbow orchids that would feed out of your hand. It was a cacophony noise. I can't describe the sensation it was as a young lad. I just loved it. The sound of the birds flooding in and just eating that food was quite a memorable experience. In 1979, Tom and Diane upgraded to Leafy Killara, where they stayed for another 14 years. But country life just got too much for country Tom. And so he packed up their bags for a tree change by moving to God's country in Coffs Harbour. By this time, Tom's stamp business was really booming, and Diane had to give up her lucrative career at Avon to help Tom out full time, as you all probably know. Now, Tommy and Diane never had children, at least not of the human kind. But Lucy, their little Jack Russell Terrier, was their special fur baby. And they fussed and doted over that bloody thing like you wouldn't believe. Who remembers little Lucy? Yeah. Featured in a lot of photographs, right? Beautiful thing. Tom was always meticulous and organised, with a great attention to detail. These are attributes perfectly suited to stamp collecting, I think you'd agree. And so what started out for Tommy as just a simple hobby in his early working days in the post office would soon blossom into a full-time career, and he became a well-known and respected stamp dealer in his own right. That's a profession he practiced for almost 60 years until more recently, when finally the disease that he caught no longer allowed him to correctly handle stamps. And that was, I think you'd agree, it must have been heartbreaking for Tommy not to practice that lifelong passion of his anymore. But hey, who would have thought that you could build such a lucrative career in trading little bits of coloured paper, huh? What do I know? But no, it wasn't all work and no play for Tommy. Tommy loved travelling, as you all know. And with his wife Diane and later Margaret by his side, he explored nearly every corner of the world. And on Tom's reckoning, that's about 110 countries. And do the math, that's about half of the countries in the world. If there was anyone in the family that got bitten by that travel bug, it was surely Tom. It was almost a case of spin the globe and let's just go. I mean, just how many people can say they've been to Madagascar, right? Tom amassed a collection of sentimental mementos from his travels, mostly Aladdin themed, because he did love travelling many times to Sri Lanka and India in his time. I really love to hear about his travels to exotic parts of the world, and Tom related a story which shows the special bond he shared with his wife Diane. One day, Tom and Diane were just sitting on the Coffs Harbour jetty outside a restaurant called 390 on High, when somebody stole Diane's handbag. And so from there on, they decided that they would use the secret code word 390 on High whenever they came across somebody they thought was a little bit suspicious. just as a code word for them. So despite having a busy career and travel schedule, Tommy never failed to attend major family events such as weddings and christenings. I think he attended most all of your weddings when he could, until later on in life. And Tom was a generous man also, and had been known to splurge on expensive gifts to those that he was close to. Tommy also loved Thai restaurants, and he would often take us out to dinner at his favourite restaurant, Wynn's Thai Kitchen in Coffs Harbour. Before any of us knew it and barely finished our desserts, he had already gone and paid for it. That was just Tommy. Tommy to a T. Tommy was, as you all know, a quiet and reserved man as well. However, having said that, he could become quite passionate and outgoing at times. I recall an occasion after my cousin Nicole Robinson's wedding in 2007, the family got together at the local House of Bamboo Chinese restaurant in Campbelltown. No longer there, I don't think. Many drinks were had that night and the karaoke machine did get fired up. Well, Tommy surprised us all when he decided to step up to the mic and proceeded to serenade his beloved wife Diana with that famous Paul Anka song, Diana. We really saw a different side to Tommy that night. It was just a surprise. It wasn't him. Tommy also had his funny side. This is for Danny. When my brother Danny had his family visited Tom and Diane many years ago in Coffs Harbour, Tommy took them out to a Chinese restaurant. When Tommy asked Danny's 5-year-old daughter Ashley what she wanted for dinner, she responded, Devon pizza. Tom was very amused by this, saying that was a first for him. But Tom, being who Tom is, did his level best to get her a Devon pizza. And so off he trotted next door and he ordered a ham pizza. When it arrived, Ashley was so happy that she had her Devon pizza. Tommy always liked to bring that one up on every visit. Look, there are so many other memories about his life of Tommy, but I'll allow others to share their own memories. But before I do, I'd just like to offer some special thanks. Firstly, thanks to all those attending today's service, either in person or via the video, and including my brother Terry and his wife Kathy, who are currently travelling their way through Tasmania. Thanks to Anne Lee, where are you, Anne, from Piccolina Funerals for organising this occasion. Thanks to Errol and Della Fitzpatrick, this was Debbie's parents, for making those fortnightly calls to Tommy to check in on him, for making him laugh, and for listening and just being a friend. Errol and Della would meet Tommy and Diane, later Margaret, whenever they travelled down from the sunny coast to Sydney. I understand from Deb that Della was particularly upset that she didn't get a chance to visit Tommy in hospital. Thanks to my brother Danny for all your support in these last few months, and to his wife Deb for managing the funeral notices. Thanks to Nadia and Sophia Gibbon for doing much of the heavy lifting in caring for Tom over the last 3 months, and for advocating for Tom when he was in hospital, and for helping organise today's funeral. And finally, a special thanks goes to my wonderful partner. I don't know why I'm crying about this part. My wonderful partner Elaine Poltney for accompanying me on the many visits to Tom in hospital, and for being emotional support to not only Tommy but to me as well. Tommy, although now you've gone, mate, all our memories will live on. Have a Kit Kat on us, and don't let them get away with this shit in heaven. God bless you and take care of all. Thank you.